If you're over 60 and still drinking your morning coffee the way you always have, it may be quietly sabotaging your blood flow and energy levels in ways that would shock you. And the worst part? Most men never connect the dots until they're sitting in a doctor's office wondering why their circulation has gotten so poor. Now, before you think I'm about to tell you to give up coffee entirely, relax. I'm not. Coffee can actually be beneficial for men our age when done right. But there's a specific way most of us prepare and drink our morning cup that's working against our circulation, our energy, and yes, even our intimacy. I'm talking about something so common, so automatic, that you probably did it this very morning without even thinking about it. And if you're dealing with cold hands and feet, afternoon energy crashes, or circulation issues that seem to be getting worse each year, this could be the missing piece you've been looking for. My name is Host Name, and I've spent the last 30 years helping men over 60 reclaim their vitality through simple, natural approaches that actually work. Today, I'm going to share what a prominent urologist taught me about coffee and circulation, and 3 simple changes that can turn your morning routine from an energy drain into a circulation booster. Stay with me, because what you're about to learn could change how you feel every single day. Before we dive deeper into this coffee revelation, I'd love to know, which state are you watching from? Type it in the comments below. It always amazes me how this senior wisdom reaches men from coast to coast, from small towns to big cities. We're all in this journey together, and knowing where you're tuning in from helps me understand our community better. And if you're watching from outside the US, definitely let me know your country too. This information transcends borders, and I love hearing from our international viewers. Let me tell you about my friend Bill. Bill's a 64-year-old retired mechanic from Ohio, the kind of guy who could fix anything with an engine and took pride in never missing a day of work in 40 years. Strong as an ox, or so he thought. About 2 years ago, Bill started noticing things. His hands would get cold during his morning coffee, even in summer. He'd feel sharp and alert for the first hour after waking up, then crash hard around 10 a.m. His wife mentioned that his feet were like ice cubes in bed, and he was starting to worry about circulation issues his father had dealt with. But here's the thing about Bill. He was stubborn. His morning routine was sacred. Up at 5:30 a.m., straight to the kitchen, brew a strong pot of coffee, drink 3 cups while reading the news, then start his day. He'd been doing this exact routine for 30 years. Why would he change now? It wasn't until his annual physical that things got real. His doctor mentioned his blood pressure was creeping up, his circulation markers weren't great, and he should consider lifestyle changes. When Bill mentioned his energy crashes and cold extremities, his doctor asked a question that stopped him cold. "Tell me about your morning routine, especially your coffee." That's when Bill learned something that changed everything. His beloved morning coffee ritual, the timing, the amount, even the way he prepared it, was creating a perfect storm for poor circulation. His doctor explained that for men over 60, our bodies process caffeine differently than they did in our 30s and 40s. What once gave us sustained energy was now creating spikes and crashes that affected blood flow throughout the day. But here's the beautiful part of Bill's story. His doctor didn't tell him to quit coffee. Instead, he taught him 3 simple adjustments to his morning routine. Within 2 weeks, Bill's energy crashes disappeared. His hands and feet started warming up. His wife noticed he seemed more alert in the evenings, and his next blood work showed improvements that surprised even his doctor. Bill called me about a month later, laughing. He said, "I can't believe something so simple made such a big difference. I thought I was just getting old, but it turns out I was just drinking coffee like a young man." That conversation with Bill led me to research this topic deeper, and what I found was eye-opening. The relationship between coffee, circulation, And energy in men over 60 is something most of us never consider, but it affects millions of us every single day. So what's really happening when men over 60 drink coffee the way we always have? To understand this, we need to talk about how our bodies change as we age, and why our relationship with caffeine needs to evolve too. First, let's talk about circulation. After 60, our blood vessels naturally become less flexible. Think of them like garden hoses that have been in the sun for years. They're still functional, but they're not as supple as they once were. This means our hearts have to work a little harder to pump blood through our system, and our circulation isn't quite as efficient as it was in our younger years. Now, caffeine affects circulation in two ways, and this is where it gets interesting. In the short term, caffeine actually constricts blood vessels. That's part of why it can give you that immediate alert feeling. But for younger people with flexible blood vessels, this isn't usually a problem because their vessels can easily accommodate this temporary constriction. But for men over 60, especially first thing in the morning, when we're already slightly dehydrated from sleeping, this vessel constriction can create problems. Our already less flexible vessels get squeezed down even more, reducing blood flow right when our bodies are trying to wake up and get circulation moving. Here's what happens in a typical morning for most men our age. We wake up slightly dehydrated. Our blood is a little thicker than it should be. Our vessels are naturally tighter from lying down all night. Then, we drink a large amount of strong coffee on an empty stomach, which constricts our vessels even more and spikes our cortisol levels. The result? Poor circulation, cold extremities, and an energy pattern that looks like a roller coaster instead of a steady climb. We get a quick spike, followed by a crash, followed by the need for more caffeine, which creates another spike and crash cycle. But there's more to this story. Our body's ability to process caffeine changes significantly after 60. The liver enzymes responsible for breaking down caffeine become less efficient, which means caffeine stays in our system longer. That cup of coffee you drink at 7 a.m. might still be affecting your circulation and sleep quality 12 hours later. This is why many men over 60 notice that coffee affects them differently than it used to. You might find yourself more sensitive to caffeine, or notice that it keeps you awake even when you drink it earlier in the day. Your body isn't broken. It's just processing caffeine the way a mature body does. There's also the timing issue. Most of us drink our coffee first thing in the morning because that's what we've always done. But research shows that our natural cortisol levels are already at their peak when we first wake up. Adding caffeine on top of this natural cortisol surge can create an overwhelming stress response that actually impairs circulation rather than improving it. Think about it this way. If your circulation system is like a highway, and you're already dealing with some construction zones and slower traffic due to aging, flooding that highway with caffeine first thing in the morning is like adding rush hour traffic to an already congested system. The good news is that understanding this problem is the first step to solving it. Coffee itself isn't the enemy. In fact, moderate coffee consumption has been linked to numerous health benefits for older adults, including improved cognitive function and reduced risk of certain diseases. The issue is how and when we're consuming it. When consumed thoughtfully, coffee can actually support circulation in men over 60. It can help with mental alertness, provide beneficial antioxidants, and even support cardiovascular health. But it requires a different approach than the drink it strong and drink it fast mentality many of us developed in our working years. The key is working with our changing physiology instead of against it. Instead of forcing our bodies to process large amounts of caffeine when they're least equipped to handle it, we can time and prepare our coffee in ways that support healthy circulation and sustained energy. Now that you understand what's happening, let me share the 3 simple changes that can transform your morning coffee from a circulation blocker into a circulation supporter. These aren't complicated. In fact, they're so simple you might wonder why no one told you about them before. The first change is the most important. Never drink coffee on an empty stomach or before hydrating your body. This single adjustment can dramatically improve how your circulation responds to caffeine. Here's what you do instead. When you wake up, before you even think about coffee, drink 16 to 20 ounces of room temperature water. Not ice water, which can shock your system, and not hot water, which your body will process differently. Just plain, room temperature water. Why does this work? Remember, you wake up dehydrated after 6 to 8 hours without fluids. Your blood is thicker, your vessels are tighter, and your circulation is sluggish. By hydrating first, you're essentially preparing your circulatory system to handle caffeine more efficiently. Think of it like priming a pump. You're giving your blood vessels the fluid they need to stay flexible and responsive. When you then introduce caffeine 20 to 30 minutes later, your vessels can handle the mild constriction without compromising overall circulation. I learned this from a cardiologist who specializes in treating older patients. He told me that dehydration is one of the biggest factors in poor morning circulation for men over 60, and most of us make it worse by drinking diuretic substances like coffee before we've properly hydrated. After you've had your water and waited at least 20 minutes, then you can have your coffee. But here's the key. Drink another 8 ounces of water alongside your coffee. This helps offset coffee's mild diuretic effect and keeps your circulation flowing smoothly. My friend Bill swears by this change. He says the difference in how he feels throughout the morning is like night and day. His hands stay warm, his energy doesn't crash, and he actually needs less coffee to feel alert because his body is processing it more efficiently. The second solution involves when you drink your coffee, and this one might surprise you. Instead of having coffee immediately upon waking, wait until your natural cortisol levels start to drop, typically 90 minutes to 2 hours after you wake up. Here's the science behind this. Your body naturally produces cortisol in the morning to help you wake up. This cortisol surge peaks about 30 to 45 minutes after waking, and then gradually declines. When you drink coffee during this natural peak, you're adding artificial stimulation on top of natural stimulation, which can overwhelm your system and actually impair circulation. But when you wait until your cortisol starts dropping naturally, caffeine can provide a smooth, sustained boost that works with your body's rhythms instead of against them. For most men, this means having coffee around 8:30 or 9 a.m. if you wake up at 7 a.m. I know this might feel strange at first. Many of us have been reaching for coffee the moment our feet hit the floor. But give it 2 weeks, and you'll notice the difference. During that waiting period, stick with water and maybe some light movement or stretching. This gives your circulation time to naturally wake up and your cortisol time to do its job without interference. The research on this timing approach comes from chronobiology, the study of how our body's internal clocks affect our physiology. Studies show that when we align our caffeine intake with our natural cortisol rhythms, we get better energy, improved focus, and yes, better circulation. One study specifically looked at men over 60 and found that those who delayed their morning caffeine by 90 minutes had better blood pressure readings throughout the day and reported more sustained energy levels. The third solution is about how you prepare your coffee, and this is where many men over 60 can make a huge difference with a simple change. Instead of drinking coffee black or with just cream, add a small amount of healthy fat and a pinch of sea salt. I know this sounds unusual, but hear me out. There's solid science behind this approach. The healthy fat, this could be a teaspoon of coconut oil, MCT oil, or even a pat of grass-fed butter, serves several purposes. First, it slows down the absorption of caffeine, preventing the spike and crash cycle that hurts circulation. Second, it provides sustained energy that your brain and blood vessels can use efficiently. Third, it helps your body absorb fat-soluble vitamins if you're taking any supplements with your morning routine. The pinch of sea salt, just a small pinch, about 1/8 teaspoon, helps with hydration and provides minerals that support healthy blood pressure. Many men over 60 are actually slightly mineral deficient, especially in magnesium and potassium, and this small addition can help. Here's how to prepare it. Brew your coffee as normal. Add your pinch of sea salt first, then your healthy fat. Stir well, or if you have a small blender or milk frother, blend it for 10 to 15 seconds. The result is a creamy, satisfying coffee that provides steady energy without the circulation problems. This preparation method is based on traditional practices from cultures known for longevity. In parts of Tibet and Ethiopia, adding salt and fat to coffee has been common for centuries. These populations show remarkably good cardiovascular health well into their later years. The fat also helps with satiety, which means you're less likely to reach for a second or third cup of coffee. Most circulation problems from coffee come from overconsumption, and this preparation method naturally reduces the desire for more caffeine. I started using this method about 6 months ago, and the difference is remarkable. My energy stays steady throughout the morning. I don't get the afternoon crash I used to experience, and my hands stay warm even on cold days. One important note: start with small amounts of fat, just half a teaspoon at first. Your digestive system needs time to adjust, especially if you're not used to consuming fat first thing in the morning. Gradually increase to a full teaspoon over the course of a week or two. Now that you understand the 3 main solutions, let me share some bonus tips and common mistakes that can make or break your success with this new approach. Most men over 60 are drinking their coffee too hot, and this can actually impair circulation. When you drink very hot liquids, your body has to work to cool them down, which can temporarily redirect blood flow away from your extremities. The optimal temperature for coffee consumption is between 140 to 160 degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough to be enjoyable, but not so hot that it burns your tongue or requires your body to work overtime to process it. An easy way to test this: you should be able to take a comfortable sip without having to blow on it or sip carefully. This temperature also allows you to taste your coffee better, which means you're more likely to be satisfied with less. Many men drink very hot coffee quickly, just to get the caffeine, then want more because they didn't actually enjoy the experience. Here's something most men don't realize. Light movement after drinking coffee can significantly improve how your circulation responds to caffeine. This doesn't mean you need to go for a run, just 5 to 10 minutes of gentle walking, stretching, or light movement. The reason this works is that movement helps your blood vessels respond more flexibly to caffeine's effects. Instead of just constricting and staying constricted, they can constrict and then relax in a healthy rhythm. My grandfather, who lived to 94 with excellent circulation, always took a short walk around his property after his morning coffee. He said it helped him get the blood moving. Turns out, he was absolutely right. Even something as simple as doing some arm circles, gentle neck rolls, or walking to the mailbox can make a difference. The key is consistency. Make it part of your coffee routine. While you shouldn't drink coffee on a completely empty stomach, you also shouldn't have a large breakfast immediately before coffee. The ideal timing is to have your hydration, wait 20 to 30 minutes, have your coffee with the healthy fat, then wait another 20 to 30 minutes before eating a substantial breakfast. This timing allows your body to process the caffeine efficiently without competing with the energy demands of digesting a large meal. Many men over 60 notice better circulation and more sustained energy when they follow this sequence. One of the biggest mistakes men make when they learn about coffee's impact on circulation is trying to quit coffee entirely overnight. This approach almost always backfires because your body has adapted to regular caffeine intake. If you've been drinking multiple cups of coffee daily for years, suddenly stopping can cause headaches, fatigue, and, ironically, even worse circulation for the first few days. Instead, gradually reduce your total intake while implementing these circulation-friendly changes. Start by applying the hydration first rule and timing strategy to your current routine. After a week, you can start reducing the amount of coffee you drink if needed. Most men find that with these changes, they naturally want less coffee because they're getting better, more sustained energy from what they do drink. Another mistake is applying these changes sporadically. Your circulation system thrives on consistency. If you hydrate first on Monday but skip it Tuesday, or if you time your coffee perfectly on weekdays but revert to old habits on weekends, you won't see the full benefits. Think of these changes as a new lifestyle pattern, not a temporary experiment. It takes about 2 weeks for your body to fully adapt to the new routine, and for you to notice the circulation benefits. Some men hear about adding healthy fat to coffee and think they need to turn it into an elaborate production with multiple ingredients and special equipment. Keep it simple. A pinch of sea salt, a teaspoon of coconut oil, and a simple stir is all you need. The goal isn't to create the perfect superfood beverage. It's to support healthy circulation while enjoying your coffee. Don't let the pursuit of optimization prevent you from taking action. Every man's circulation and caffeine sensitivity is different. What works perfectly for your neighbor might need adjustment for you. Pay attention to how your body responds and be willing to fine-tune the approach. Some men find they do better with slightly more or less fat in their coffee. Others discover they need to wait longer between hydrating and having coffee. Some need to reduce their total coffee intake more than others. The principles remain the same, but the details can be personalized. Trust your body's feedback and adjust accordingly. Now, I want to take a moment to address something important. If you've watched this far, you're clearly serious about improving your circulation and energy levels. That tells me something about you. You're not just looking for quick fixes or magic bullets. You understand that real improvement comes from understanding your body and working with it intelligently. What was your biggest takeaway from today's discussion? Was it learning about the hydration first rule, discovering the importance of timing, or maybe realizing that your coffee preparation could be affecting your circulation? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one, and your insights often help other men in our community who are dealing with similar challenges. And if you've already tried any of these strategies, I'd love to hear about your experience. Did you notice improvements in your energy levels, better circulation, warmer hands and feet? Your success stories inspire other men to take action, and that's how we build a community of men supporting each other through these later decades. For those of you who want to take this further, I've created something special. It's my free 7-day circulation recovery plan for men over 60. This isn't just about coffee. It's a comprehensive approach to improving circulation through simple, natural methods that work specifically for men our age. The plan includes daily action steps, meal suggestions that support healthy blood flow, gentle exercises designed for men over 60, and a complete guide to optimizing not just your coffee routine, but your entire morning routine for better circulation and energy. Here's what makes this plan different. It's designed by someone who understands that men over 60 don't want complicated protocols or dramatic lifestyle overhauls. We want practical solutions that fit into our existing lives and deliver real results without making us feel like we're training for a marathon. The plan covers things like the best foods for circulation that you probably already have in your kitchen, simple morning stretches that take less than 5 minutes but can dramatically improve blood flow, and evening habits that set you up for better circulation the next day. I've also included a troubleshooting guide for common issues men face when implementing these changes, because, let's be honest, our bodies don't always cooperate the way we expect them to, and it helps to have guidance when things don't go perfectly. You can get this plan completely free by clicking the link in the description below. No email lists that spam you with random health advice. No complicated sign-up process. Just practical information that can help you feel better starting tomorrow. Speaking of feeling better, in our next video, I'm going to share something that might surprise you. We're going to talk about a common bedtime habit that many men over 60 think is harmless. In fact, most of us consider it relaxing, but it's quietly undermining both circulation and intimacy in ways that most doctors never mention. This habit affects your sleep quality, your morning energy levels, and yes, your circulation throughout the night. The good news is that it's completely within your control to change, and the improvements can be dramatic when you know what to do instead. I'll be sharing the science behind why this habit is problematic for men our age, 3 simple alternatives that actually improve circulation and intimacy, and a bedtime routine that sets you up for better sleep, better morning energy, and better overall vitality. If you don't want to miss this important information, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and hit the notification bell. YouTube doesn't always show our videos to everyone who's subscribed, but the notification bell ensures you'll know when we publish something new. And here's a tip. If you found today's video helpful, take a moment to give it a thumbs up. It helps YouTube understand that this content is valuable to men like us, which means they'll show it to more men who could benefit from this information. We're building a community here, and every like, comment, and share helps us reach more men who are looking for practical solutions to real problems. Before we wrap up today, I want to leave you with something important to remember. If you're over 60 and you've been noticing changes in your energy, your circulation, or just how you feel throughout the day, you're not imagining things. Your body is different than it was 20 or 30 years ago, and that's not a failure. It's just reality. But here's what I've learned after decades of helping men navigate these changes. Different doesn't mean worse. It just means we need to adapt our approach. The same coffee routine that served you well in your 40s might not be optimal for your 60s, and that's okay. Wisdom comes from recognizing when it's time to evolve. The 3 strategies we discussed today, hydrating first, timing your coffee intake, and preparing it with healthy fats. These aren't complicated medical interventions. They're simple adjustments that acknowledge how your body has changed and work with those changes instead of against them. I think about men like my friend Bill, who was ready to accept that feeling tired and having poor circulation was just part of getting older. But it wasn't. He just needed to adjust his approach. Within weeks of making these simple changes, he felt more like himself again. Not like he was 25 again, but like the best version of himself at 64. That's what we're after here. Not turning back the clock, but making the most of where we are right now. You have decades of life ahead of you, and there's no reason those decades can't be filled with good energy, clear thinking, and yes, good circulation. Remember, you're not alone in this journey. Millions of men over 60 are dealing with similar challenges, and millions of men have found that small, intelligent changes can make a big difference in how they feel every day. You're not broken. You're not too old to feel good. You're not destined to just accept declining energy and poor circulation as inevitable. You just need the right information and the willingness to make some simple adjustments. Take it one step at a time. Start with the hydration first rule tomorrow morning. See how you feel. Then add the timing strategy the following week. Give yourself time to notice the changes. Your body will tell you what's working. And remember, This isn't about perfection. It's about progress. Some days, you'll nail the new routine perfectly. Other days, life will get in the way, and you'll fall back into old habits. That's normal. What matters is that you keep coming back to what works. I'm grateful you spent this time with me today. It means something to me that men like us can share this information and support each other in living our best lives, regardless of what the calendar says. Until next time, take care of yourself. You deserve to feel good. You deserve to have energy. And you deserve to wake up each day knowing that your best years can still be ahead of you. Stay strong, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next video.